Michael, thanks for being here with me today. Talk to me about the cold weather response plan. What is it?
The cold weather response plan is a guide for the community. It's something that we've had for 10 plus years, but it's a living document. So we update it every year to make sure the information is in there and available for the public if they needed some assistance during a cold weather event. And just some different general safety tips for the home when you're traveling, advice in there to how you prepare for winter, those kind of things.
What are the biggest tips you'd say folks should know that's in this plan?
Biggest tips in this plan is really, stay attuned to the weather, whether it's radio, TV, or other types of media. Pay attention to if we come out with a watch, an advisory, or a warning's coming. So if you get a watch, that's going to give you 24 to 72 hours of advance that something may be going on. An advisory is a little bit something is going to happen, a half inch or less of ice, and a warning is a severe weather incident's already going. So those are things you need to be watching for. Now, before that even happens, we have a lot of information in there how to be prepared for wintertime, whether something happens or not. So it's all about preparedness.
And what can people do to, prepare their homes, as this weather approaches?
Yes. Well, tonight is one of the first nights, last night was one of the first nights we had freezing temperatures. So things with your home is to wrap or insulate your pipes. And everybody remembers back in 2021, we had about a week, a lot of people were without power. So if you have, if it's available, funding's available, generators are a good option to be able to back up your home. Things we also want to do is don't run generators in the garage or in the house. Have CO detectors in the home for things that are like that. Windows, you can insulate your windows. You can have storm windows, or you can actually put plastic inside your windows. That also helps to keep things cool.
Talk to me about how the plan has changed since that 2021 winter storm.
2021 Winter Storm Uri happened, I think it was February 14th through the 17th. Pretty tragic day for the state of Texas. 210 people died in that storm. So what we try to do is we take that information and try to educate the public on how to prepare if we have something like that again. So just from the basics, just to stop freezing pipes, how to take care of your pets. But in a case that we have a severe weather event again where you can't get out of home or you lose power, is to educate the public on how to build kits. You can go to ready.gov and kind of take care of it, have a plan for your house. So the 911 services are going to be there if you need them for assistance and things like that. But we really try to work with the whole community approach, and that is people taking care of each other, taking care of yourselves, having a plan so it doesn't overtax the system.
What is the plan if the city water treatment plant loses power like in 2021?
It's a good question. In 2021, the water treatment plant and the water plant power went out. After that, there was an after action review, went through everything. So now there's 2 generators there. They're tested quarterly. Fuel has been treated. We have backup generators on call if we needed to get one in. But with the dual generator system out there, that's going to be good. At that time, they were doing some rolling brownouts where certain areas would be without power for some time. And that also caused some interruptions as well.
Would you say there are any weaknesses you know of in the plan that you're working to remedy in the months and years ahead?
At this time, there's always something that could pop up. But after the review, after Winter Storm Uri, we learned so much, and we have a meeting every year just to make sure we're ready and prepared for that. I've already talked to streets, I've already talked to the water department, and we check each other to make sure the things that we discovered in the after action review, we're doing before the event even happens.
What's not in the plan that people should know?
The plan covers just about everything. There's things in there with winter weather emergencies, medical issues that can come up from being outside, including frostbite, hypothermia. So we want to cover those things, how to dress outside. You know, you think these things are just common sense a lot of times, but folks like hunters and campers and hikers that go outside can find themselves, you know, in the elements and become exposed to winter weather.
So how can you dress appropriately?
Always layer. So try not to, you know, something to stay warm and dry. Usually something close to your body. Not cotton is not recommended, but a synthetic or wool, something that wicks that moisture away from your body. And then your outer shell should be waterproof.
And then can the temperatures themselves only indicate, you know, if it's safer not to go outside, or should folks look at stuff like wind chill or stuff like that?
Absolutely. In the plan is a wind chill chart. So it could be 40 degrees outside, but if the wind is gusting at 25 to 30, your wind chill may be more like 20, and that actually pulls heat away from the body faster.
Where are some places people can go in the event, you know, they lose power or they just need some place for heat or anything like that?
Okay, so if that happens, if we have another event where we lose power or a large majority of the city is in need, we'll open up the Emergency Operations Center, and we have dedicated sites. They can go to the public library, the mall, movie theaters, or places that are open anytime that you can go to and get out of the weather. Now, if it is deemed necessary, we have a list of warming centers, and these are volunteers. These are churches and local organizations that we will call, and they will activate in a time of need.
And those are places open to the public in the event that they need to open.
Yes. So we actually did that in Winter Storm Uri, and all the folks that came forward then are still on that list, plus we've added quite a few. So if something like that happens, you need to know where a shelter is. You can call 911 or the City of Tyler Fire Department. Now, 911, I would do the non-emergency number, but you can call the City of Tyler Fire Department. We will direct you to what shelters and warming centers are available.
And would you say you encourage people to create, you know, their own cold weather response plan?
Absolutely. Each home with families and friends, you need a communications plan, and you need to have a plan for your home. So if you do lose power or if you lose water, there's things that you can do. So if you go to ready.gov, there's a lot of interesting tips there. So Winter Storm Uri, because a lot of the ground froze and pipes broke, water was interrupted for some people for a week to 2 weeks while we were trying to repair those. So there are things that you can do that people really don't think about. Melting snow. Now, we're not always saying that's the drink, but the water that's in your storage behind the toilet on top can be used for other things. You could fill your bathtub if you knew something was coming. So there's different ways to store some water just for basic use, cleaning things around the house.
What about keeping pets safe?
Pet safe, if it's too cold for you, it's too cold for your pets outside. So make sure your pets have water that doesn't freeze over. Make sure they have availability of high-calorie food. And if it's too cold for you outside, yes, they need to come inside and warm up with you.